oxide in it, and barium.
Barium.
And
now, what is the aluminum oxide?
Aluminum oxide does a few things. It can be used in conjunction with HAARP, and this has been disclosed a long time ago, that HAARP, which travels with electromagnetic pulsations through the atmosphere, can act more effectively when it has metallic surfaces. In other words, it makes it more conductive, that the air becomes conductive like a circuit. And again, if your target happens to be the population...
When you say conductive, are you talking about, let's say, if there's an electrical storm?
No, they send out pulses.
Oh.
So the more conductive the subject is, by either inhaling or consuming or whatever, we're doing both, with aluminum oxide especially, or any metallic substance. So they're making each individual a receptor, which makes perfect sense. And they have admitted that they've tried HAARP out on large population areas.
Oh my God.
Maine was one of the first main places that they tried it out on. And they found out that the easiest thing they can do, the simplest thing they can do, is to create alterations in mood, either from elation or to anger and depression. And they found a tremendous high suicide rate at that time. They found domesticated animals were going crazy and biting their owners. And so, yeah, alterations of mood are easily affected with HAARP. And depending on the frequency they use, they can also make you elated, as though you were drugged, basically, and happy. But it also, after time, especially with aluminum oxide, will help destroy your immune system. And since they do, this is the regular television, CBC News and BBC News, they keep having international conferences every month or so talking about the inevitable flu that's going to come around the world and kill most of the people. And they keep saying it's just round the corner, just round the corner. And so they are lowering our resistance to fight off something which should not kill us, but if we're weakened in our resistance, then it very well might. So this is deliberate planning to control and at the same time to start the culling process. There's no doubt about it. That's the function of it.
And I know there are people out there who would never believe that would be done to them by this group at the top, that they have been brought up to believe exist on some kind of totally selfless motivation to help others. That's why they're there, these unseen bureaucracies and levels of super government. They're all altruistic somehow. They come out of different wombs than anyone else. Therefore they don't have any nasty impulses. They're just there because they're servants of some kind. You don't elect any of them. They're just some kind of special servant that maybe God elects, I don't know. And they'd never believe that this could be done to them. That's their conditioning. Complete conditioning. Because to break through into the realization that nothing is as it seems, it would probably take a nervous breakdown for most of them to come through that. Some people are born with the ability to see through, but most of the people who get hypnotized every night by television will never come to that conclusion. You can't live in both worlds and retain your clarity or your sanity. Television is the biggest tool they've ever given the public, apart from inoculations, which certainly do attack the brain. We see that with all of the problems with autism and the subdivisions thereof. We see it in today's people who have short-term memory. They have low concentration. We're definitely far, far weaker physically than people of even a couple of generations ago. We're being re-engineered, which is another reason they went for the food and kept it secret from the public. Well, they tested it on the public by agreements with governments, such as Canada, who admitted, they made secret agreements with the big ones, like Monsanto. Secret agreements with your food, the most basic thing you can have. You are what you eat, so they say. They certainly didn't make food any cheaper or better, so why did they use such immense brain power in science and mix hundreds of genes together to make one brand new stalk of corn. You'll be the last to know. Because the real world and the real ones who run this world will never tell you truths. It's done by deception. The Open Skies Treaty was decided generations ago. H.G. Wells talked about the police of the world, the new Freemasonry of the air, scientists who would spray over hostile territories, and gases and different things would affect the minds of those below and render them silly and stupid and helpless in the shape of things to come.